For me, the main, most important thing was that here is TK's character who was a witness to everything. But finally, at one moment, he is taking a decision, neither listening to his elders to kill someone, or nor being in a position to tell his Englishman friend that, okay, I've forgiven you, anything like that, but decides that I want a new way. Yeah. And he becomes a voice which later on might become the voice of millions, to take a stand, which I think is ideally what I meant when I made the film. Beautiful. When I was shooting this film, I only thought about one very important thing, that is to have all the moments in the film to be shot at times where the light is, as a DOP I'm saying, where the light is in transition, maybe from day to night, and all those little fleeting moments, wherein those are the moments have captured the most beautiful, if you tell me, including seasons and things like that. And also the very title Before the Rains itself means that it is a change is going to happen. There is something, the nature is behaving in a certain way, so that it is signaling some sort of change, and that's what the movie also is about. Everyone who grows up in a certain environment, which is maybe you tend to without really realizing, you tend to absorb certain sensibilities of the land. So I come from a place where it's full of Kathakali and all kinds of metaphors, and we have this whole even in terms of light, when you say it's a performance in India, when you say someone is performing, it doesn't mean that there need be an audience. It can be they just have to light a lamp and then they perform. So it's a devotional kind of a thing. And so it is in Kathakali and all these things where they'll just light this big lamp and then they do it. So you end up seeing all this in golden light, So I love that warmness of that golden light, which I think is very interesting. And I love that clashing with the cool colors. And, so you, without really making very definite effort, all these sensibilities in which you have grown up actually tend to make you think like that anyway. So it is not really a planned kind of this thing, like we don't say, okay, this carpet has to be like that. Or, okay, we walk in and if it is like that, it is like that, fine. So it is more of trying to find things which are real and then trying to interpret it in a very different way, like the way you see. But I think basically it is all because of the way different people from different countries, for example, in my place it's very hot, so the houses are designed in such a way to keep out light. So the light, when they find little bit of openings, they come out with a lot more force than it does in a place like London, where there's big glass, and there's no sun. So the light takes on another kind of energy and force. So I think every day you can go on looking and taking a walk and find so many different things in everything. And you're very amused. Coming here, I'm so happy because there are so many elements which I like in these rooms actually, which maybe trigger off so many thoughts in me, which might not be for someone else who's not familiar with that. So I think it's all about sensibilities of different, and I think it's fantastic because you learn from every different person coming from everywhere. Yeah. Actually, I don't know where one stops and the other one begins actually, because I feel that every director brings a certain sensibility to the whole thing. I'm very serious when I say this, but I think the most important person in the project is the producer. And I think someone has to have that conviction to actually put money on this thing and say, okay, we really would like to make this film. So I think that passion is very important. And of course, at the end of the day, after the film is over, I think the marketing people is as important. Today, to be creative is not very difficult. I can make a film on my phone. Today it has become like that. So the digital platform has lent itself very well to people who really want to do something creative, because they can actually make a film with using their phone or in very, very low budget. But then the film might not deserve everything that it needs actually. So I think the first would be, of course, a script, then the producer, then so it takes on a path like that. Yeah.
I've been working with Santosh for over 10 years, and Andy and his partner Doug Mankoff, with their company, really they have a program to work with international directors. Sorry, I'm telling your story, and had come to Santosh and to myself to find something that we could collaborate on.
This idea came from a contemporary Israeli film, 40-minute Israeli film, and we said to Mark and Santosh, what if we were to transpose that to colonial India? Because that's something that would be of interest. And they thought it was a great idea. And we spent 2 years developing it together, working with several writers, but Kathy Raven principally. But it was the desire to work with Santosh and develop specifically.
And for him, for all of us, I think it was exciting. Santosh has been working in the Indian system and making fabulous movies in a very kind of dynamic and iconoclastic fashion, and was very interested in kind of having a taste of the American system of development, which was challenging at times because it's a long process. But I think we were all very excited to kind of go down this road.
Part of the privilege of being an actor is being able to travel and experience extraordinary things, and been to many parts in India, but Kerala is the most beautiful part of India to me. And the experience of being able to work there and get up every morning and drive out to the locations and be in an experience of creativity with a director like Santosh, it's a bit like a dream come true. You couldn't predict it was going to be as good as it was, and every day was literally just a joy and a pleasure to be there. And that's a reflection of the place, the people, and particularly our leader here, who created this environment of spontaneity and freedom, which is rare to have around cameras, because people tend to get very uptight and stiff about it. So it was a wonderful experience.
The film plays to a lot of different people. I don't think that we look at it as a rarefied movie that is an experience that only a certain segment of the audience can appreciate. I think it was designed as a mainstream entertainment that people can enjoy, and yet it will give them something to think about as well.